Hey everybody, welcome back. Steven here, Northwest Small Batch Brewing. Man, I can barely fit in this space. You would not believe what I've got going on outside of this camera here. I'm just trying to bag up some grain I got, and it's taking up a lot of space. Anyway, so I'm taking a break from making chocolate cherry stouts because they just have not been working out for me. I have an idea though for another version to see if it'll work. But it's going to be a while before I do it because I'm kind of burnt out on that. And I'm going to switch gears here and I'm going to try a different way of making a chocolate peanut butter stout. Yeah, so it should be interesting to see how this one turns out. It is going to be around 5.8% if it turns out properly. Let me go over the grain with you and then we'll get to it here. We're looking at 5.6 pounds of Great Western 2-row. 66.7%. We'll go with that. About 8.3% flaked oats. 6.3% Weyermann chocolate wheat. 6.3% pale chocolate malt. 4.2% caramel wheat. And I'm going to be adding some lactose to this, about 8.3% lactose. Yeah, and we'll get to the other stuff when we get to it. I'm going to go ahead and throw this all in the mill and mill it up. And then we will be good to go. And now it's time to mash in. And I'm going to use my handy dandy drill and my little spinner. I don't know, I think it needs a name. Somebody give me a name for that thing. To make sure there are no dry spots in the mash. And then I will seal it all up and let it mash overnight. And I'll be back in the morning to do the boil. All right, so the water is at about a boil, and it's time for the first hop addition. In fact, this is the only hop addition for the full 60 minutes. 1.5 ounces of Fuggles. The recipe I have, what did I put? 9.5 alpha acid. This is only 4.3 on the ones I got. So I actually have 2 ounces here, so I'm just going to use the full 2 ounces to make up for the fact that the alpha acid is not quite as high. Make sure you guys check that when you're doing your hops. You may get hops that don't match the alpha acid on your recipe, and you may have to make adjustments. All right, I got about 10 minutes left in the boil, so I'm going to put in half of a Werflick tablet. This will just help get the proteins to coagulate and settle down to the bottom of the pot so they don't end up in the fermenter. And I need about 8.3% of my grist to be. I mean, it's not grist at this point, but the fermentables. Lactose. Which for me, with the amount I'm making, is something like 11.2 ounces. But rather than try to divide this up and save some of it, it's so powdery. I've got 16 ounces here, so I'm just going to use the full bag. And that'll be that. I'm going to go ahead and transfer the wort into the fermenter using the pump from my system. And now that it's transferred, my favorite thing to do is to add the yeast nutrient at this point because it allows me to make sure that all the yeast nutrient gets into the fermenter and doesn't get left behind in the pot. And then I use my handy dandy drill mixer to mix up the yeast nutrient and to aerate the wort for about 3 minutes. And if you didn't see my last Hot Tip Thursday, this is a new style of drill aerator that I bought from More Beer. The one I had before is from Amazon. It didn't really get a lot of air, a lot of movement. It's great for mashing, but not so great for aerating. This one has the fins that flip open when it starts moving, and man, this thing could shoot the wort right out of the top of your fermenter. It goes so fast. So much better, much better. All right, so I've got my wort cooled down. I like to pitch my yeast at a cooler temperature. It's down to about 65 Fahrenheit. And I was going to pitch Lallemand high performance ale yeast, but I have some SO5 left, so I'm going to pitch SO5 to get that used up. And we're good to go to let it ferment. Well, you've made it. We're at the end. We have the final product. First of all, holy crap, look at that red retention. That's insane. It is kind of hard to pour one-handed, and that doesn't help, but still, I mean, it's, managed to go from the tap to here to setting up the camera, and it's still, like, crazy. It's definitely an off-white, kind of darker color head. I'm sure it would be not quite so much if I had been able to pour it a little bit more properly. But let's go over the final numbers, shall we? The results are in. This beer is your father. No, just kidding. Original gravity, if you remember, was a little bit higher than, the recipe called for. I was looking for 1064. I got 1068. And I'm okay with that. It's close enough. Final gravity, 1021. And we were expecting 1019, so I'm not surprised. Definitely 2 or 3 points there attributed to the fact that the original gravity itself was higher by a little bit. And, you can't predict what yeast is going to do. So instead of a 5.8, I'm getting a 6.4% ABV. I'm just looking at the fermentables again here to see if I can figure out. I mean, I do have oats in this, which is, I put oats in everything, but... right. I put chocolate wheat. That's probably what's helping with this head. That is fantastic head retention. Now, my concern, and I'm already concerned just smelling it, is that it's going to be artificially peanut buttery. The last time I used one of those extracts, I used the entire bottle in a half batch of beer, like 3 gallons of beer. And it was too much. It was gross. I didn't even finish that batch, I think. So this time I was like, oh, I'm just using half the bottle. Because I think the whole bottle does say it's for 5 gallons. So at any rate, let's see. All right, I'm going to need a few more sips before I can really give an answer here. There's definitely a lot of peanut butter smell on the aroma. I'd say there's more peanut butter on the aroma or the nose than there is in the actual tasting of the beer itself. There is lactose in this, if you recall, so it has a little bit more sweetness in it than otherwise. I didn't really account for that in the final gravity, so actually it's not probably 6.4%. It's going to be a little lower than that. I'd have to calculate, that's the problem with lactose, is it makes calculating the ABV a pain. You have to take a reading of your original gravity before you add the lactose, and then after. And then you know how much extra the lactose is attributing to your gravity. That doesn't really count because it's not fermentable. So you probably want to know what I think. It smells better than it tastes. Not that it tastes bad. There's no off flavors or anything like that. It just doesn't taste stouty. It doesn't have the rich, chocolatey, coffee, dark grain flavors to it. It's more like a Czech dark lager with the peanut butter essence in it. There's not a lot of peanut butter on the taste. It's mostly coming through on the aroma. It's drinkable, but I would not make it again. Yeah, that's disappointing a little bit, but also I kind of expected that. I have not had really very good results from using extracts for flavorings. It just ends up tasting unnatural, I guess is the best way I can put it. And it's really sad for me to say I think the PB2 actually has a better peanut butter taste than this extract, and I don't like the PB2, so that tells you something. At any rate, it's not bad, but it would be better if it was more stouty. I know. Great descriptor. Anyway, it was fun. Interesting project. Definitely drinkable. No off flavors. So it's a win. I'll be back in another week with another video, and thanks for hanging out while I made this beer. And until next time, cheers.